Well, good morning, guys. How you doing today? I hope you're doing well. It is a hot and sunny day here in Portugal. I hope you're getting some sun as well. Um, well, let's jump straight to the charts. Yesterday's afternoon session, made a big jump to the upside. As you can see here, we had the FOMC action, a little bit past 2 p.m. As you can see here, we had FOMC minutes. It brought us a wick to the downside, then a purge of buy side liquidity as these relative equal highs, and then another jump to the downside. And as soon as we got NVIDIA earnings, which happened about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. The market just rallied to the upside, taking out buy side liquidity, as you can see here on the 15-minute chart. This was the 19th high, the Monday high from last week's price action. And then we had some consolidation in Asia, like it's usual. Here you have your consolidation here. And then we had the London action, which was a stretch to the upside, taking out Asia highs. And as soon as London ended, we had the expansion to the downside. And this is another, as I've been referring to you, this is another accumulation, like you can see here, accumulation. Then we had the manipulation to the upside, taking out London highs. And then we had our distribution to the downside. So this is the power of 3, or the AMD, as you want to call it. It's the same thing, I guess. So this was the action in between Asia and New York session. So we kind of distributed on a pre-market action, like it's been usual the last couple of days and the last weeks. We distribute at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and that leave us with eventually some poor action in between New York AM and lunch hour. But this was the action from today's price action prior to New York AM. And what can we expect from price right now, right? That's the main question. Well, if I take a projection on the fib here from London, which is the manipulation leg and the last leg to the upside here, you can see that the market just came down, distributed right to -2 standard deviation, which usually is a place where if you are kind of shorting the market, you should take your position out here eventually at -2 standard deviation. And usually these areas are reversal areas. So what can we expect? Well, for today, I'm kind of I still maintain the bullish idea on the market. I'm allowing price to go a little bit lower, because if you can see here as well on the OT levels from the move to the upside here, beginning at 4 p.m. until the high of London, you can see that price is, it's trading at the equilibrium. So we already retraced to the equilibrium. So we can eventually expect price to go a little bit lower, expecting eventually 0.62 on the OT level. And right now, helping our bullish bias, we have price retracing back to the N walk as well. So the N walk here can eventually act as a support level. So what am I expecting, right? I'm expecting price to come a little bit lower in the first minutes of the open, which we already are in, I guess. Yeah, we just opened here at 9:30, which is this candle here, 9:30 open. So I'm allowing price to get a little bit lower in between 9:30 and 9:50, and we're eventually presenting some kind of a bullish structure to the upside, inverting bearish PD arrays inside the N walk, or eventually here faking out a breakdown of the N walk, and then start to run to the upside, taking out these relative equal highs, and eventually these right here as well. As you can see, we are a bit far away from midnight open, which puts the price on a discount area as well. So now I will just wait to see if we maintain the bearish action that we started at 6 a.m. Yeah, 5 something, 6 a.m. Or if we will eventually do something like this. This is what I would like to see happening. So price really comes a little bit lower, and then displaces to the upside, taking out bearish PD arrays and starts to move to the upside once again. So let's wait. Let's wait until 9:50, probably 9:50, 10. That would be an idea. That would be an ideal time window to price present ourselves with that type of action. But yeah, let's wait. I will refresh the lows of this 4-hour candle, which are important as well. So I will zoom in a bit more as well. Yeah. So this right here is the first presented fair value gap here. So yeah, this one right here. The first presented fair value gap. And let's see if price really wants to dig lower, approaching OT levels on a higher time frame. If you look into the 15 minutes here, this is some type of, as you can see, the lows of the pre-market have been taken out as already. So if we retrace back up, I can eventually consider some type of longs. If we manage to go through the N walk and dig a little bit lower, then eventually I will consider a bearish bias and switch my bias. But until that happens, I will consider longs, and I will consider a bullish bias for New York AM action. We can eventually, since price already expanded to the downside, we can eventually expect some type of a consolidation in between New York AM as well. So that's why I'm a bit cautious with price action right now, because it can be eventually tricky playing the market after consolidation, and it always can be a little bit tricky. But yeah, I will wait for some more confirmations, and I invite you to do the same. We have no rush. We have no rush to get into anything right now. We are just observing the price action here, and let's see if we get presented with something between 950 and 10. That would be great, because it is the macro hour, as you might already know. I will just add it here on my annotations. Yeah. So now I'm just observing and waiting for something, honestly. Looking at NQ. Well, NQ is a bit more heavy here. Is a bit more heavy. It came down a little bit more than ES, and it will eventually drag ES a bit lower. Yeah, but let's wait for it, honestly. But yesterday's price action was quite interesting here, as you might notice. If you take if a projection here, this is the last swing high, which was the manipulation, the jitter swing on the pre-market here. You can see that price stopped right at minus 2.5 standard deviation. And as soon as it touched the minus 2.5 standard deviation, it ran to the upside like a crazy market here. It was quite precise here with its action. But yeah, it's always tricky to play the market when you have FOMC minutes, when you have Nvidia earnings, or some type of a big company earnings presentation. So yeah, but it was very precise, as you can see. So for now, prices respecting the first presented fair value gap. Nothing unexpected is happening. Looking into NQ, it is heading to the downside. It already took this low here. So far, we have some type of SMT, but it is a SMT on a 1 minute, so that's not that's not a big of a deal, honestly. I like to see SMTs on bigger time frames and not on small time frames like the 1 minute. Let me just, yeah. Okay. So ES is respecting the first presented fair value gap, but it's kind of slow here, while NQ is heading to the downside. NQ just managed to stop right above at the midpoint of the NWALK, which is this shaded area here. I will put this a little bit more to the left, to the right here, just to have a better view of it. So yeah, what about you guys? Have you been profiting with these large expansion days, or have you been just watching it and observing and learning and journaling? Because it is quite interesting to see price respecting all the projections and the earnings, and everything that's happening right now. It's quite interesting, honestly. So yeah, NQ is a bit heavier here. Marking a new low, while ES is in between the midpoint of the N walk, its consequent encroachment, and the first presented fair value gap. NQ really displacing to the downside right now. So I will refresh this low. Whenever we got a new low. At this point, we have about, let me just check. We have about 8 minutes before the macro hour as well, and about 18 minutes before this 4 hour candle just closes and the new one is presented to ourselves. Yeah, so far the NWOG is acting like a some type of a support for ES. I really am kind of suspicious about these relative equal highs that were left behind here at 7 a.m. We have another one here in between 540 and 550. These relative equal highs as well, which are coincident with the midnight open. Notice how price just came above event horizon, which is the midpoint in between this walk and another one that we have up here. Price supported above it in between Asia and London, but then it really kind of lost it here at 6 a.m. and never came back to it, never retraced back to it. So it can eventually be a sign of bearishness. I'm aware of it. But it also can represent a need to go once again to event horizon to retest it. If you look into the 4 hour candle, the bullish candle that was presented with NVIDIA earnings is being engulfed right now, especially on NQ. We are already at the bottom, almost at the bottom of the 4 hour candle. So if price really does not stop at the bottom of the candle, I will probably have to switch my bias and look for something bearish. We have, what do we have here, right? To the downside. Well, we have a weekly bearish fair value gap here, which was worked out. We have the midpoint here, which was respected to the tick, as you can see here. And we still have a volume imbalance on the weekly as well. And the price should not, honestly, it should not come below these levels. Otherwise, the long-term bias of a bullish situation should be disconsidered. So we have a bearish fair value gap here. Right below the midpoint of the N walk. So this one I will refresh. On the 15-minute, the 15-minute candle just closed. We have a new one. The low was taken already, and prices moving to the downside here. We are below equilibrium, so we are right now in a discount level. Price is trying to disrespect the OTE level of 0.62 as well. So we are 3 minutes in before before the macro as well. Notice how how ES didn't manage to retrace back to this fair value gap, to this bearish fair value gap. It can eventually give us a signal that price is kind of heavy. NQ, let me check NQ. Yeah, NQ was able to retest it and respect it, and is moving to the downside as well. And we have about 1 minute before the macro. Price is still inside the N-walk here for ES, as you can see. It's trying to get out of it right now. There we go. And at this point, NQ just engulfed the 4-hour candle from the NVIDIA earnings. We have about 10 minutes before this candle closes and give us another one. So now I'm interested to see if this candle will really close here down below, or if we will have some type of a reversal to the upside. The macros just starting here as well. So this is the 4-hour candle low for now. Price getting once again inside the unwalk. So at this point, I can see a lot of a lot of players. I'm sorry about the camera. Right now, I can see a lot of players that started the market with shorts being kind of trapped here. So I just want to figure out if they will get trapped or if we will continue to the downside. I would like to see this being inverted and eventually the first presented fair value gap being inverted as well. Nice displacement to the upside here. I want to see price coming above the midpoint of the NWAG for some type of a bullish scenario. Otherwise, I have probably to switch my bias and consider that we will go lower here. But so far, price is really trying to invert this bearish fair value gap here. Let me just check the 3 minutes, which is always good to check. It is trying to retest this order block here. On the 5 minute, it is reaching this volume imbalance here, the tiny one. And on the 2 minute, yeah, we are getting above the fair value gap here. So this was a nice reaction. $9.50 macro, just giving us a quick move to the upside. No retracement so far. I'm just curious to see how price will react as soon as we enter the first presented fair value gap territory. Keep in mind that we have 8:30 open, I guess. Yeah, 8:30 open is a bit higher here. It's here. 8:30 open and 9:30 open can always be some type of resistance points here as well, just like the first presented. So now I'm expecting some type of a retrace here since we are inside the first presented fair value gap here. There we go. Midpoint of the N-walk here, this pointed area. If we are bullish, price should respect OT levels. If not, it will just displace to the downside. Let me just check the 2-minute here, the 3-minute. Yeah, not that convinced right now. This one was a harsh retrace to the downside. But so far, OT levels are holding. It can happen that price will, because we have still 2 minutes in this 4-hour candle, so it can happen that we will do another low and then retrace back to the upside, taking out the low of the previous 4-hour candle. So let's see if we will do something like that. Yeah, but I kind of like how price respected OTE here. So if we come back above this fair value gap here, we have relative equal highs here. It can eventually give us a move to the upside, but I will wait a bit more. So the 4-hour candle just closed. And now let's see if we will take out this sell side and then move to the upside, or if we will leave it like it is, because we already took sell side as the pre-market lows. What about you guys? Have you taken any positions right now, or are you just observing the market and trying to figure out what is the market doing. I will ask you here in the chat. Section here. I would like to see price coming above the midpoint of the NWOG and have a close here. Notice how we are trying to get above this bearish fair value gap here. But I really would like to see some strong close, not this action here, this indecisive action that price is giving us. As you can see, we are wicking to the upside and to the downside as well. Meanwhile, NQ is respecting the bearish fair value gap. Seems like it wants lower prices. NQ is not doing this this trend line here. It is just barcoding for now. Well, so far since 9:30, which is our trigger for the session, yeah, nothing has happened, honestly. Price is just finishing, just trying to get eventually long and eventually shorting the market as well. Look how we managed to respect this bearish fair value gap here and disrespecting OT levels as well. So this scenario is kind of invalidated. Let's see if price really wants to dig lower or if it will do some type of a inversion as soon as we take out sell side liquidity as the 4-hour candle. And Q not giving us signs of any type of inversion. So right now, if we come back inside the NWOG, that would not be a good sign for those who are shorting. But if we start once again to respect bearish PD arrays like these fair value gaps that they are presenting us, we might consider lower prices. Let me just check the 2 minute and the 3 minutes. Yeah, right now we have a 3 minute order block here. So it would be great to, or it would be cool to see if price wants to get near this order block and eventually come down. I'll take this out for now. Nice displacement to the downside here. So we kind of rejected here the end walk and was not that clean because we had this displacement to the upside, but as soon as price was not able to get above once again of this bearish fair value gap, it kind of displaced to the downside. So now it feels like kind of obvious that we will seek for lower prices. On the 15 minutes, these lines are the OTE levels. So equilibrium was rejected. 0.62 was rejected. 70%. So yes, 0.70 was rejected and is right now at the last level. And it stopped right to the tick here, as you can see. So I will start to mark these fair value gaps here. Yeah, it seems like the bearishness of price is kind of being respected here. As you can see, um, we are respecting bearish PD arrays. Price just respected the midpoint of this fair value gap here. And it seems like we are heading lower, I guess. We have this fair value gap here. That was the fair value gap that brought us that upside leg here from the earnings. So this is some type of a tricky spot as well. So yeah, the macro offered us this leg here to the downside, as you can see. The entry should be around here, since I was waiting for some type of a long here. I didn't get into this short position. Price starting to react now. Notice how we are inside of a 4-hour fair value gap as well. So this can be eventually a tricky spot to go short, because you are shorting inside a bullish high time frame PD array. That's why I didn't take any action right now for shorts. And since we took out sell side liquidity as the 4-hour candle low, I'm expecting to see some kind of a retrace. Price reacting to this fair value gap. This is some kind of a balanced price range as well inside the weekly inverted fair value gap. Let's see how price reacts as soon as we hit the order block here. The 3-minute order block, right? Yeah. The price really comes here, retraces to the NWOG, this order block as well. And if it rolls down once again, yeah, but it seems like price is not able to reach that. Retesting the volume imbalance here. And if we close below it, we will probably go for another run to the downside. So the volume imbalance is right now serving as resistance here. Not the best entry here, but it is. I think it is acceptable. So this can eventually be considered data lows. This wick here down below. So this would be our point of take profit. So at this point, I would like to see this fair value gap here being completely disrespected, since we were not able to invert this one. I would like to see it close below. Let's see if we will have some follow through. In terms of time, we started the macro in a bearish leg. So I'm expecting eventually that the bearish leg will last until the until the next macro. So then the next macro would be 1050 to 1110. So that would give us a macro to macro movement. But honestly, I'm not liking how price is treating this fair value gap here. Yeah, I was expecting that this fair value gap um, gets disrespected, but so far we respected the midpoint of it. We are presenting some wicks to the downside as well, so not the best scenario, but I will give a little bit more time. Can eventually give us some type of price action like this here. As you can see, it is kind of similar. Price coming back once again to the bearish fair value gap here. That triggered the short position, but it's doing the retest in a displacement way. So not liking how we are getting inside of it. Yeah, NQ is really pushing to the upside. I guess I will get stopped out here. On Yeah, I guess the inversion. I was waiting for the inversion this whole time, but I guess I got trapped here on this bearish movement. There we go. Yeah, I guess I got trapped out here. I was waiting for this move since here. And it seems like I get trapped here. Well, let's see if we can eventually manage this drawdown. On the 3 minute, it kind of inverted. Yeah, we respected here the fair value gap here. We kind of respected the last OTE level as well. So now price is just playing in between these OTE levels. And this is the inverted fair value gap here that I was waiting the whole time. I guess we are kind of respecting it. Oh, so on the 4 hour, we pierced the 4 hour fair value gap here. It was totally pierced from one side to another. Nice reaction here, honestly. It really tricked us down with this engulfing candle here. Another retracement here to 50% of this wick. Let's see if we can get a little bit lower. Let me just check here. Yeah, it would be interesting to see price coming down once again to this fair value gap here. We have a breaker as well. So price is now inside the breaker as well. I would like to see it hold for a bullish move. If not, price will eventually continue to the downside. Yeah, completely disrespecting it. %50 of the lag. If we look at the 3 minutes, yeah, it almost came to the order block that we were mentioning. Yeah, but it seems it will eventually go lower here. Let me just check the OT levels once again. Now we got a good reaction here, but it's not sufficient, I guess. Yeah, coming back up. Yeah, I'm starting to like this retrace here. And I guess we will take this shot to the upside here, at least to the first presented fair value gap here. So right now I would like to see price coming to the upside with some type of speed. I'll take out yeah, I will take out these to make it a bit more clean. So let's see if we will have a run to the upside. At this point, I guess we will have to give the market some time. Let me just check the 3 minutes. The 3 minute is not so pretty, honestly. Yeah, the 2 minute is kind of acceptable. The 5 minutes, yeah, that's why I think we have to give some time here. Yeah, price coming down once again inside the inverted fair value gap. The breaker did not is not acting as I would like to see it act, but honestly, I guess NQ is a bit stronger here, and the breaker is still holding on NQ. Yeah, just like I was saying, the 3 minute was not looking great. It is coming down once again. we kind of failed here to retrace to the order block. And it seems like the bullish idea is once again invalidated here. We took these lows. Let's see if we have some type of reaction here. Otherwise, price will continue to the downside, I guess. Yeah, these last couple of days have been hard. That's why I'm not trading any funded or challenges or whatever. I'm just demoing because I guess the read that I have sometimes it is correct, but I guess the way that I present myself in the market is not the best way, and it's not in best shape, I guess. So we took out this low, reacted to the upside. Let's see if we can have another stretch to the upside here, or if we will just grind slower to the downside. So far, we are about 5 minutes away from the next macro. So it can eventually decide if we are right in the bullish idea or if we will continue to the downside in that macro to macro move. So far, a nice reaction here, getting out of this danger zone above the breaker once again. Right back to it. Looking at NQ, NQ is looking more promising than ES. Yeah, price really taking a um, long time to to get out of this region here. And Q is pushing to the upside. ES is trying to follow, but NQ is able to already do another high. ES is way behind it. Let's see if this does not uh, end in a some type of an SMT in between these two. But we are 2 minutes inside, 2 minutes away from the next macro. So I'm expecting that the macro will give us some fuel. I would like it to be a fuel to the upside. But since price is so slow on ES, everything can happen. Let me check the 3 minute once again. Yeah, the 3 minute is not it's not able to get above this fair value gap here. It's struggling a lot. I really would like to see some type of displacement to the upside here, just to dig into this fair value gap here. On the 2 minutes, we reached the order block on the 2 minute, and we kind of rejected it with displacement, but displacement just stopped right here, which can eventually be a good signal of a manipulation. On the 5 minute, yeah, on the 5 minute we are just consolidating, not giving as much, and on the 1 minute it's kind of ugly, honestly. Back to break even here. Well, NQ is is somewhere, let me, is somewhere here, while ES is a little bit lower. And it's digging to the upside, creeping up to the upside. I mean, doing another high. ES way slower. Let me just check and queue and where it has the order block on the 3 minute. Yeah, it's a bit far away from where it is now, but I'm curious to see what NQ will do as soon as it hits the order block. I would not like to see it displace to the downside, and the macro just, yeah, we are just inside a macro here. So now I would like to see price starting to run a bit to the upside, making new highs. I mean, disrespecting this order block here, re-entering the NWOG as well, um, eventually stopping out here on the fair value gap, but reaching for the first presented. So let me just check here the last down leg here, the manipulation leg, which I got manipulated in. And yeah, the first presented fair value gap should act as the major point of confluence that we have, since it has some confluence with -2 standard deviation. This was not correct. Yeah, there we go. I was not correct with this one here. Yeah, so minus 0.5, -1, -1.5, 2, and eventually -2.5, which are the highs of the pre-market. Yeah, I would be content if price reaches for -1.5. But I kind of feel that it will be a hard walk as well. It will be some type of a high resistance to the upside because everything is balanced here, and it will give us a hard time here, especially on the first half of the NWOG. Well, so far I want to see bullish PD arrays being respected here. So far, this one is being respected. Notice how we stopped right at the order block as well. price so far. Digging inside the NVOG. I guess this fair value gap will be a high resistance for ES since it has some confluence with the -1 standard deviation. But right now I'm just letting price run, do what it is supposed to do. I will take off some risk as well. Well, with 5 micros, I will probably not take any partials, since a partial would represent about 20% of my full position. And I think 20% for partial for a runner or for something or leaving something run with a weight of 20% is it's too much, I think. On the 15 minutes, price is really trying to reach for the upside. On the 4 hour, we have a formation of a 4 hour wick as well. So we still have some minutes inside the macro too. We still have about 10 minutes inside a macro, but it's 11. So 11 usually it's some type of a retrace hour. So if we have been moving lower, yes, 11 should bring us a bit higher, since it is a retrace time. It is a time where price action tends to retrace or eventually consolidate as well. So far, so far price has been respecting bullish PD arrays here. We are entering the NWOG, as you can see as well. But I really would like to see another stretch to the upside. At least we're reaching for -1 standard deviation. But it is also permissible for price to retrace into the order block, into the fair value gap here. Price taking a harsh retrace to the downside here. Coming back to break even, not looking good, honestly. Let's see if we can get a reaction since price managed to stop right at the breaker. But like I told you, and like I said before, I was not expecting a clean run to the upside. Um, it would be a hard walk to the upside eventually in a high resistance form. So that's why I'm so permissible with price right now, because I was expecting that. So the wicks here doing a lot of damage, but I really would like to see price hold this fair value gap here, not play below it. Otherwise, we will eventually go lower. So we got a new subscriber. Welcome. Thank you very much for subscribing. But yeah, it's been kind of boring, honestly. I thought that we would eventually go directly to this fair value gap here, but it retraced back some handles before reaching for it. And now we are really retesting the patience of everybody. Honestly, I'm not liking how price is respecting this bearish fair value gap here. It has been a harsh retrace to the downside. I'm just waiting for some type of reaction here, bullish one. Pushing price a little bit more to the upside, but seems like it doesn't want to do that. And yeah, on the 3 minute, as soon as NQ touched the order block, it retraced back into it, respecting it. And right now I would like to see some kind of a reaction to another leg to the upside. Let me just check here these OTE levels. Yeah, so far we are respecting OTE levels, but let's see. Just like I was saying, that would not be a clean run to the upside, and I was expecting it, so I have to be some kind of permissible. Price really came back to our break-even point. a nice reaction from the breaker. This was the, I guess, this was the retrace, the harsh retrace that we were expecting. As you can see, this is a high resistance because price is really um, balanced here. We just have these highs here to be taken, but all that stands above the bottom of the analog is kind of balanced already. So if we want to push through it, it will be kind of hard. Yeah, not liking how price is really acting here. We looking into it, we rejected the analog, came down, tried to react here, but unfortunately we rejected it once again, and now I can see price coming down and eventually stop us out here. Yeah. So I guess this was not what we expected it. Yeah, on a 15 minute, as you can see, on a 15 minute, we went to the order block and rejected it right away. So this is kind of a tricky spot, honestly. It honestly didn't work how I was expecting it to work, and since it got rejected so well here, I guess we are invited to see lower prices here. Bullish PD arrays have been disrespected as well. Or we can eventually consolidate here right below the NWOG. I have to see a little bit more of price action here. Kind of interesting that price really came down to our stop loss, and yeah, here it stopped right there. Let me check the 3-minute here. Yeah, the 3-minute, it touched the order block and displaced right away. Looking at the OT levels, we are still respecting them, but this price action is not so favorable to get into longs, because these retraces are way deeper than we can expect. Hmm. Yeah, it really came to our stop loss here. But I guess the bullish idea is still valid here, because we price didn't make a market structure shift to the downside, honestly. Yeah, but price action is kind of poor right now. Let me just check the 2-minute once again. Yeah, price really came to our stop here just to do nothing. Kind of disappointed with this, honestly, with this price action here. It's been it's been really tough lately, because every time I try to get into something, I just miss the big moves, and as soon as I get into something, yeah, I just get caught in some type of boring price action. We go another stretch to the upside here. Yeah, price really came to our stop, and it really punished me, because I reduced my risk. Guess this will be the last try here with ES. Otherwise, I will if this does not work, I will probably end the stream since we are already 2 hours in as well. I will give it some slack here as well because we have these lows still. I'm still expecting price coming back to the first presented, so the bullish idea is not invalidated. It's kind of weak, but it's not invalidated. At this point, if I hadn't moved my stop loss to reduce the risk, the position would still be running. But yeah, sometimes it happens. I was really expecting a high resistance to the upside, but not that high resistance. I reduced my stop, putting the stop below the midpoint of this inverted fair value gap. The wicks really did the damage and took out my stop here. The stop originally was placed below these lows, below this order block. I just raised it a bit somewhere here. And that's another thing that we have to keep in mind whenever we have some type of a high resistance play on price action. We have to keep in mind that we have to to give some room on market to play and to eventually um, go to the last point of retrace that is allowed on price. See, if you look at the OTEs, price really stopped at the last level of the OTE, and wicks really came a little bit lower, doing some more damage. That's permissible, but usually I don't we don't have that in mind. We just want to we just want to price present us with 50% retraces, and sometimes we need to give room for price to give us a better retrace, a larger retrace. If you look into the 15-minute, yeah, the last 15-minute candle just engulfed the previous one. So we usually don't take that into account, but it really happens. Let's see if price can really push to another high here, eventually getting into this fair value gap that I was expecting to be hit here when price was here. That would be interesting to see. Another push into the end walk as well. If I zoom out here, you can see that we have some clear relative equal highs, but I'm just um, taking some low hanging fruits here. I think the first presented fair value gap is a acceptable target, and it has some confluence with -1 standard deviation here. I guess these relative equal highs, we can eventually expect them to be hit, but not in the lunch hour, or eventually not before NYPM. Price back above inside the unwalk here. We have this high to be taken out, and at this point it seems logical that price wants to go at least for this high. But since we have the end wall here, it kind of can act as a resistance as well. See, price tumbling down once again. I guess we are really inside of a consolidation type of market right now, since the 15 minute, if you look into the 15 minute, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles, yeah, they are ranging in the same area. So price displacing once again back to the breaker. It will probably take out these lows here, and eventually seeking out for these ones right here as well. So yeah, this price action is not favorable to play with, honestly, because it's a back and forth price action. I'm glad I'm just demoing. Otherwise, it would it would have been a tough day. Yeah, it really have been some kind of tough for me, because I tend to lose the the main action, and whenever I get into something, I tend to get caught inside ranges. I have to figure out what am I doing probably wrong, um, and try to not act the same way. And there we go. We'll get stumped out here, most probably. And there we go. Yeah. So I guess I will finish the stream. We are 2 hours in as well already. So yeah, the trend is your friend. It is, honestly. It is. But I guess we are in some type of a consolidation here. Um, we can eventually expect a lower move to the downside. Um, since we have some liquidity here down below, we have weekly points of interest as well. But as you can see here, this is just a consolidation box that's happening right now. These types of consolidations usually are or usually happen just to punish or try to punish everybody that's that's trying to play the market. As you can see, it went straight to my stop, reacted to the upside, and yeah, this is just a hunt. This is just a hunt. So yeah, I guess we will have more action tomorrow, and that's it for today. Oh, and let me thank you guys for being here. Let me thank you, Andrea, for being here as well. He's 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 here as well. So thank you. Thank you for your words as well. And yeah, I guess we will have more action tomorrow. Tomorrow it will be Friday, so usually Friday can give us some type of a let me just check here. Usually Friday can give us some type of a retrace of the weekly range, but I guess we already did it. Um, so we went for buy side liquidity here, and we are already digging into 50% of the range for the week. So I will probably not expect a deeper retrace, but I guess we will have to wait and see what tomorrow brings us. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for those who subscribed as well. And yeah, have a good day, have a good afternoon, and go catch some sun and some sunshine as well. Yeah, perhaps if confirmed, good spike to sell. I don't know. I really don't know honestly, but we can eventually have a continuation to the downside. Yeah, but I see a lot of liquidity here, and usually when we have a lot of liquidity, a lot of stops from those who are already selling, the market tends to attack those stops. But yeah, we really have this end walk, which is the new week opening gap that price really inverted, and it rejected it twice. So it is logical for price really go a little bit lower. That's for sure, honestly. But I can see price reverting somewhere near these levels to attack once again the stops that everybody is positioning as they are selling as well. So yeah, tomorrow tomorrow is another day. Thank you very much once again, guys. And and yeah, if you're not subscribed yet, just subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and eventually see you tomorrow for another session. And thank you very much. See you later, guys.